What's up, YouTube? Just documenting my Garmin rigging on the box here, the dry box, or the dry pod with the Bonafide SS127. Gonna walk through it really quick, just to help maybe anybody else who has thought about rigging theirs up. And I know that I'd watched tons of videos just to get some ideas. And this is what I ended up with, and I'm super happy. So let's talk through it. Bonafide SS127. The Garmin 93sv UHD2, 9 inches because that felt like it would be good. Maybe 10 or 12 would be too big, might be cool. I felt the others were too small. I'm getting old and blind. I also wanted to be able to sit and touch my screen without having to lean up. Some of the mounts people mounted back here in the back. That could be really cool. I chose the front because I wanted to be able to access my device, yet with a Scotty ball mount here bought it at Cabela's. I can move it, lean it back if I need to, and I can bring it forward. This seemed like a really good spot for me. And then I also liked that with it up front, I can open this all the way up and have access to my pod right here. Tons of space for keys, wallets, all that good stuff. Got tons of space. Since this is open, I'll just go into it. So I did buy, in terms of the battery here, I did eco-worthy 10 amp hour. Now, I know I fished with this, let's see, I did about 6 hours on Sunday. I did about 4 to 5 hours on Monday, and I never dropped below 13 volts yet. Like, it's just pretty solid. It's super light. It actually fits into the little channel you have here in your dry pod. So it fit nicely. I just took a guess and it panned out, it worked. But that 10 amp hour seems to be plenty. I did charge it today just in case, but man, fished twice, 2 half days, no problem. Super light, fits in the channel down there. It does come with the clips here to attach to the battery. And what I did is had clips on each side. I just cut it off. And I'm a fan of soldering my joints, where I can, or my connections when I can. I just have a, soldering iron and solder from back in the days working on drones. And yeah, it's nice. So that's that. Battery fits. I have a lot of space in here. I thought, based off comments and other videos, I was like, man, there's going to be no space to use this, but you can see here just the transducer cable here, small battery. I've got this whole side right here I can use, all right here, and in this channel, plenty enough room for wallet, keys, some stuff like that you want to throw in there. So anything on the back? Oh, so here I ordered some black plastic stuff, maybe a 1/4 inch thick, cut it with my saw, just like a chop saw type deal, whatever the official name is for those. And cut it and drill my holes. Now you can see it was kind of soft, so I didn't use it for the bottom. This is like PVC material, but I used it here to form a little cheap backing plate, and I've got tons of it left, so I can build other backing plates, but cut that down to size, use it as a backing plate to give that a little bit of support here for the unit. So that went good. The through-hole kit, I looked at the Hobies, and then I ended up getting just these Wilderness systems. It comes with 2 different, I guess, grommets or whatever you call those things, with different options for like 2 cables or 1, big cable, small cable. And so I ended up buying 2 of these, mainly because I don't know if it's any better or not. It was just easy to order off Amazon. They just kept on showing up, and I could do like the 1-click buy here the next day. So I tested one out to make sure it would work. It did, so I ordered another box. So super happy with that. It's got a little crease right down here where you can just feed your wire through it, pop it in, slide the rubber piece and the plastic piece here. For the holes, man, just Harbor Freight. If you don't have one of these, go get them because you'll use them here and there around the house. This came in 2 sizes and maybe Maybe it was like $14 or something. So perfect size. You just look at whatever size you need there, what size hole. And sometimes you could tape it. Those grommets use the full size, whatever that is. I can't see. It's upside down. No, it's not. 1 3/8, I think that says. So I didn't have to put any tape. But if you ever got to drill a smaller hole, you can just kind of tape off where you don't want to go below as a, to help kind of see it. But anywho, those super nice, clean holes. That's the way to do it. Harbor Freight, $14. There you go. Let's see what else we got here. I think we're moving to the bottom. What's super cool, I love it, man. It's all one piece, super nice. So I show up, I use my stand here that I made. I think the biggest thing was, just getting it the height of my truck, like with the PVC pipes here, just kind of fit it. And it is the height of the bed of my truck. So I can literally just one-hand operation, slide it right into the back of my truck with these casters here, pull my truck up, and slide this sucker right in one hand. Super easy. The PVC is nice and slick. Love it. Now I just take it and grab it here and stick this in the back of my truck. And after I put my boat in the water and get it all ready to go, I just slide it right in there, fits nicely. Now, on the bottom here for the transducer, here's what I decided to do. Now, I did buy my dad a Vibe kayak, and his pod already had the screw holes for the transducers. I thought that was super cool because I see people drilling into the bottom of their dry pod. Man, I avoided it. I was going to do it if I had to, but I avoided it at all cost. And I thought it was really cool how the Vibe already had, some holes there, or whatever you would say, where you screw your transducer in and not have to drill into your pod. So what I did is I waited till the wife went to sleep, snuck into her cabinet, and got out of the kitchen her cutting board, the little white piece right here. And then I took it out with my chop saw. I measured kind of the width here. And then I cut that baby down to size using my saw. And then I hid the rest of the evidence right there in that box. So I can use it for later if I need it. And I'll figure out what to tell her when she asks where her cutting board is. Now, to attach that, basically, I had this bolt out here that attaches my transducer. I drilled a hole through the cutting board, and I sank the screws or the bolts in a bit so they would sit flush here on the back side. So I had to, I don't know what you call that, countersink or something maybe, but created it where the bolts are flush on the back side. Then I left them a little bit longer right here, because what I can do now is I didn't know if I was going to have interference from the bottom of the boat, but all I've got to do now, since I've got room on these bolts, I can take these nuts off. I can add additional layers of this cutting board and increase the depth here, and then just screw it back on. So that's why I left that space right there. But I didn't need it. This seems to be perfect as far as I can tell. I used JB Weld from, Ace Hardware, small kit of JB Weld, mixed it up on a plate. Had already attached my bolts here to this mount without the transducer on there and screwed it down. And then I just stuck it on there and I let it sit for maybe 15 hours, whatever's on the box, 14, 15 hours. And it is solid. It's not coming on there. I think this whole thing would rip off the bottom of the dry pod before that comes off. It is just super sturdy. I have no holes in my dry pod. I can increase the height if I need to now by adding more layers. So absolutely love that. So I think that is it. Super happy with it. Fits nicely right in there. So there she is, nice and close to my seat. I can access it really easily. Room to open up the lid, small battery. Oh, comment on the battery. I'm not going to argue with anybody about it. It's just my opinion. But I used to do some solar stuff and did a lot of researching. And there's a guy, I don't remember his channel name, but he does a lot of solar videos, has for years. And he's always breaking down and inspecting batteries to see how they look and the quality. And what he would find is on some of the high-end batteries, they are definitely, built high-end, right? I get it. And on some of the off-brand batteries, he would open some and inspect them, and they were very cheap. And he would just be like, hey, don't buy those. But there were a ton of batteries that he would open up and inspect from different brands. And you would be surprised that really on the inside, a lot of them are the same thing. They're the same components with different branding. There's only so many type of, LiPo cells you can buy, I guess, from China or wherever they get them. But a lot of them had the same parts. And so what he would find is a lot of the cheap batteries would perform just as good as the high-end batteries. So this price, I don't remember the exact price of the EcoWorthies, but they were super cheap. My neighbor bought them for his trolling motor, the 100 amp hour, and I'll probably get them for my RV as well if we don't have any problems out of them. But the way I look at it, they're so stinking cheap. I could go through, at least on the 100 amp hour batteries, because I don't remember the cost on this one, but the 100 amp hour batteries, man, I could go through 3 or 4 of them before I end up at the price of some of these high-end batteries. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm not a battery snob. If you want to go in with the high-end batteries, more power to you. I don't know if there's any pun intended there. I guess it's more power. Not really. And really what they talk about, when they talk about lithium, I'm not a battery expert, and they say they're marketing and like, hey, we're double the power or double the life or whatever. Really, that's not because of the brand. That's just because of the technology in the batteries versus like a lead acid or sealed lead acid battery. It's just the technology gives you that longevity, quick charging, all that good stuff. Not a particular brand. So that's just me. You do you. Go get the high-end batteries if you want them. Experiment with some cheap batteries if you want to. But literally at this price, I could buy 3 or 4 of these things before I end up spending the money that you would spend on some of the high-end batteries. So not going to do it. That's just me. I'd rather take that money and put it towards something like that or this. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I hope this video is helpful. Feel free to comment if you got a better option or if this helped you out. See ya.